Have some. Have some. Have some. Kale has kept me alive. Kept my family alive throughout all these years. You see, my family are vegetarians. I'm a vegetarian, and I'm a proud vegetarian. I take a heed. I'm not one of those vegetarians that's gonna tell you what to eat and what not to eat, unless you ask me. I'm not one of those vegetarians to throw shit up in your face. I'm not perfect. Yeah, true indeed. Every now and then I slip up, eat a little junk food and shit. I can't help it. But majority of the time, you'll see me eating healthy foods because I know just how important eating the right foods are. You see, I want to live a long life. I want to see my children have children. Hell, I'm selfish enough to say I want to outlive my own children. I want to live my life to the fullest. And I can't do that if I'm not feeding my soul, if I'm not feeding my body what it needs to be fed. You see, I wasn't born a vegetarian. My mother's side of the family, they eat meat. My father's side of the family, they eat meat. I was brought up eating meat. Fried chicken, pork chops, bacon, macaroni and cheese, potato salad, whiting, salmon. I was brought up eating that soul food. But you know what? Throughout the years, I saw my family members drop one by one by one. I remember as a child, I used to live in New York and I came down south to Durham, North Carolina. And I would visit my great-grandfather, my Uncle Willie, my Aunt Odessa, and my Aunt Rosina. And those were some good old times because my family members, they were good Southern folks. I mean, shit, they didn't get an electrical oven until like the year 2000. Beforehand, or prior to that, they would use a wooden stove. But I remember eating breakfast over their house. And they would serve those thick ass grits that was in a pot this big. Those big ass homemade buttermilk biscuits. Ham, sausage, those big ass slabs of bacon. Those big ass dinosaur eggs. I mean, by the end of the time of them cooking, the whole table would be full of food. And I remember that I couldn't finish half of my plate. Now taking heed, my Uncle Willie, my great-grandfather, my Aunt Rosina, and my Aunt Odessa, they would eat like that every day. So my great-grandfather was the first to go. He woke up one day and started pissing out blood. Then my Uncle Willie was the second one to go. He had diabetes. And they cut off his big toe. And then they cut off his foot, period. And then he died. My two aunts, my Aunt Odessa and my Aunt Rosina, they're still alive till this day. But they're in the hospital from eating that soul food. Got a cousin, my age. We used to smoke weed, drink together, all of that. The bad part about it is I didn't have diabetes. She did though. And she never took her insulin, ever. And she continued to eat that soul food, continue to drink, continue to smoke. First her teeth started falling out. Then they had to cut off her foot. Then he amputated half of her leg. And then after that, she went into a diabetic coma and died. And it's crazy to me how we, as a black community, don't see that food is the #1 killer. It's crazy. We claim that we are not slaves anymore. We claim that we're free, but we still eat like slaves. I'm gonna say it again, so y'all could really understand where I'm coming from. We claim that we're not slaves anymore. We claim that we're free, but we still eat like slaves. I don't get it. I don't understand our culture. Our culture is not built on life. It's not built on living. If it were, we would be eating green leafy foods such as kale, spinach. I know some of you smart Alex, I know what you're gonna say. Well, I do eat greens, collard greens, yeah. But guess what you do? Guess what you put in those collard greens? Pork. Pork in the collard greens. You see, you can't eat just collard greens alone. You gotta put pork in it to season it up. You may say, oh yeah, I eat mixed vegetables. Oh really? You do? Oh, I've been over your house before, nigga. Don't try to pull that bullshit. You eat frozen vegetables, mixed vegetables. And you put a half a stick of butter in the fucking pot and a whole bunch of salt in order for it to taste good. Never seen your ass in the fresh produce section. I don't even think you know where the that's at in your grocery store. Our culture is not built on living. Our culture is built on death, dying. We'll rather die a miserable life than to have a happy one. Won't give up their soul food. They'll rather pop pills, take blood thinner pills. Diabetic, if you're diabetic, insulin shots, high blood pressure pills. They got pills for your ass Monday through Sunday. And it's crazy, if you were to give up that soul food, you wouldn't have to take any pills at all. If you would put more vegetables and fruits into your diet, you wouldn't have to take any pills at all. It's crazy to me. We had this movie in the 90s called Soul Food, right? The beginning of the movie starts out where all of the women, including Big Mama, is in the kitchen and they're preparing Sunday dinner. And they got turkey, ham, potato salad, cornbread, all types of foods that got a whole bunch of grease and salt, sodium and sugar. White bleached sugar. And they happy, they singing and it's a family night, a family afternoon, Sunday afternoon. The men are in there watching football and they put all the food out on the plate, on the table. And they ask God to bless the food. And that bugs me out because y'all are asking God to bless the food and provide nutrients for food that doesn't have any nutrients in them. Oh man, you're praying over chitlins? The small intestines in pig? But you ain't a slave anymore. So as the movie progresses, Big Mama is in a hospital. Her daughters say, hey, you're gonna get your leg amputated, cut off. They're gonna have to cut off your legs because of your diabetes. And Big Mama's saying, oh no, that ain't gonna happen. I got my herbs. They'll take care of everything. Next thing you know, she goes into a diabetic coma and she dies. Now, the problem is if her daughters truly loved her, they would have said, Big Mama, you're gonna have to stop eating that soul food. We're gonna have to stop eating Sunday dinner the way that we do. We're gonna have to change up. We're gonna have to put more vegetables on the table, more fruits on the table. And after that, Big Mama, we're gonna have to take a walk around the block, do some cardio, run, lift some weights, weight training. If they truly loved Big Mama. And then at the end of the movie, you see everybody at the table eating the same food that killed Big Mama. So as you know, in part 2, another family member's gonna die. When are we gonna get it? I don't understand it. We take the time out to decorate our home. We take the time out to buy a comforter set to match the drapes or the curtains that we have in our bedroom. We take the time out to buy a nice couch, nice table, Chinaware. Everything is important in our lives except for what we put in our mouths. And that is crazy to me. That is ridiculous to me. I just don't understand it. You'll spend $800, $900, $1,000 on an iPhone. You'll spend $500, $600, $700, $800 on retro Jordans. You'll spend money on materialistic things. Shit that's not going to be of any good to you. Spiritually, mentally, and physically. But when it comes to the food that you eat, when I suggest that you eat organic foods, you'll say that's too expensive. I can't afford that shit, but you can afford that iPhone. You can afford those retro Jordans. You can afford that brand new car that you got. None of those things are gonna help you or assist you in your health. We just don't understand just how important the food that we eat is. Literally, you are what you eat. Most of y'all need some assistance when it's time for you to get out of your own bed. You got aches and pains, arthritis, and you wonder why. You wonder why. Well, damn, you know, our family cancer doesn't run in our family, but I have it. Oh, really? Well, guess what? You're eating foods that have carcinogens in them. When are we gonna wake up? When are we gonna wise up? When are we gonna rise up? The food that we eat is killing us. It ain't good for your soul. No matter how many times you bless your food. Chitlins are chitlins. Souse is souse. Pig feet is pig feet. That shit ain't no good. And Jesus can't help you with that. Jesus can't put nutrients in a pig's feet. Jesus can't put nutrients in chitlins. So you praying over your food is useless. We claim that we're not slaves anymore, that we free. I's free, massa. But we still eat like slaves. How? How is that? That shit don't make sense to me. And I'm gonna continue to say it over and over again. Yeah, true indeed, I understand you people, you know, as a white man would say, I understand you people that's in the hood, that's in the projects, that you only have a corner store, you don't have a car, you're literally living in a food desert, where the nearest grocery store is 20 miles away, 30 miles away, where you can get fresh produce. So the only thing that you can do is buy canned foods Oodles and noodles, shit that ain't no good, that you can get from your local bodega or corner store. I understand that. But at the same time, I don't understand how you got a pair of $600 sneakers on. You managed to get that. You managed to be able to afford a pair of $600 sneakers and a $1,000 iPhone. But you can't manage to make your way to the nearest grocery store to buy fresh produce, fresh fruits and vegetables that's gonna keep your ass on this planet. I don't get it. I don't get it to save life. Now I understand. I understand that soul food tastes good. Soul food looks good. I get it. Even though I'm a vegetarian, I still reminisce on that fried chicken that mama used to make. That macaroni and cheese. That potato salad. Ooh, sweet baby Jesus. I reminisce over that food. But guess what? My life is more important than that food. That food that they say is soul food, but it's not good for your soul. So guess what? I'm gonna eat my kale. I'm gonna eat my spinach. You can laugh at me all you want, but I'll be here longer than you will. I can't do this shit anymore. I can't feel sorry for that are slowly but surely killing themselves. I can't. Not anymore. Not me. I know that I'm eating to live, not living to eat.